Hello, marketing gurus. This is Professor G's Remedies for Marketing 421. We are in week three, the apply individual assignment called the product life cycle. I call it from the cradle to the grave because this is what happens to a product from its inception to the point where it's no longer needed or it needs to morph into something else. So let's get started. So this week three assignment is a PowerPoint assignment, anywhere from 10 to 15 slides. So you have to be very direct and to the point with your slides, and so not to get bogged down with too much information, but you have to hit the main points. So here's the scenario. You are a marketing manager for a company who produces your favorite product. You are to manage the product success through the product's life cycle. You are to make adjustments to the marketing strategies by determining the changes you need to do based upon the changes in the target market, the prices depending upon the market, and your competition, and as well as making enough profit. So there's some serious decision making that needs to go on, not just with you and how you're going to handle your products and your controllable things under what you can do, but also management and what they may want to do with your product. That's a tough thing because you may have to let go of something you may be passionate about as a product manager, and so this is a very important marketing. So let's go over what a product manager does. So the product managers develops and executes product offerings. It may extend a product line to offering more different variables within a product, or it might reduce it depending upon how old the product is, or how new it is, depending upon the competition, this and that, and how much of the target market that you're wanting to touch, and how much of the market share you want to take. And then you're going to also help with the promotion strategies of this product. So that depends upon even packaging and about different types of shapes and forms that this product has. And then you're going to monitor the sales. You're going to report those type of things. You're going to go over the market share, the profitability that you're making on this product, as well as the different things that are happening with the target market, with the market that you're within, and how it's changing. Maybe your target market is changing and is going somewhere else, and you need to find it. You don't want to be on the end of chasing your target market. So you need to be on the cutting edge of what the market is doing. So I like to hit on the product categories. This is really important later on. This assignment does not necessarily require that you cover product categories, but it's important for a market manager to know what product category they're resting within so that they can make some pretty important decisions. So here they are. So number one, are you a product of convenience? Is your product in vending machines? Is it in convenience stores? Where is your product being sold? Is it just only being sold online? Are you the only one selling it, or do you have or do you rely on wholesalers to get it into retailers, or are retailers, or are you just going with exclusive retailers? And if that's the case, are you thinking about, is it a shopping product? Maybe relying on more of some retailers to sell it. Now, a shopping product is something I like to go with cameras, because cameras have extreme end users. Shoot, you find them in cell phones these days, but some people still would like to buy a personal digital camera so that they can do some things with it. And so, so is it for personal use, or is it for professional use? Are you going to be, uh, uh, so these consumers are deciding some of the products based upon what the camera is doing. And so are you a shopping product? Are you a specialty product? Now, that's a pro level camera. If you're adding a bunch of like telephoto lenses and stuff like that, and the end user is not your Joe Schmo that's doing it for the family album, this is something that some specialty stores are going to want to take on. Exclusive photo stores that handle photo cameras and video cameras alone, those type of stores. And so, are you a specialty product? And then there are what's called unsought product. A lot of times, this is the product that you got door-to-door salesmen doing, or you have someone that in the family is just trying to sell you insurance. Encyclopedias at one time was an unsought product, so that's something for you to consider. And when you're talking about this portion of the assignment, when you're describing your product, you want to be able to describe what category it resides in, a convenience shopping and specialty unsought product, or and what type of features and benefits, and you just want to hit it because you got a lot of other information to hit in this assignment. So features and benefits we went over last week. These are simply whatever bullet point and what it means to the consumer. Like if it's 400 horsepower, well, that means you can go 0 to 60 within 6 seconds. That type of thing. Feature being 400 horsepower, 0 to 60 within 60 seconds would be the benefit. So moving on from here, we have what's called the target market. Well, we went over this last week. So you're going to do a slight description of what your target market is. Just remember that it resides within geographic, demographic, psychographic, and behavioral. Stay alongside those segments, right? And remember that everybody is not a target market, and that you need to be able to connect what your target market is doing, its demographics, its psychographics, its behavioral, with the type of benefits that it can receive from the features of your category. See how that all connects? So just make sure that you connect those with your target market and make sure that you are for sure going along the same lines of these specific segments. Now, also part of the uh, assignment is talking about brand equity and what your product brings to brand equity and what the product manager manages as far as brand equity. So when we're talking about brand equity, we're talking about the consumer's experience with your company. Are they brand aware? Are they aware of it? Listen, I am not a big Apple user. My kids are, I am not. But I am aware of what it does, right? I'm aware of its brand image, okay? Once I buy a product, right, am I buying into the brand image and its performance? And once a customer gets connected with it and buys a product, now what type of feelings are constructed? Are they going to be connected to it or are they going to hate it? Are they going to rely upon its specific features and benefits? Are they going to connect as well as part of their public relations offerings? Is it a green company? Does it do the things? Okay, so let's give you two separate images here. For example, you have Starbucks, that is a very green company that is really working hard to get their beans from individual sources under natural canopies, that type of thing. You feel really good if that matches well with your feelings as a consumer. And then on the opposite spectrum is like My Pillow. So My Pillow, that gentleman is very much into a religious right type of family oriented company. Are you in favor of that type of thing? Are your feelings connected with his public relations type ties? Well, you might be into My Pillow. Maybe you could care less about that and just like the fact he makes a great pillow. Who knows? Or you may not like the green aspect of Starbucks, but just like the fact that they make a really good cup of coffee. So what are your judgments in that brand connection? And then lastly is the consumer brand connection. Are you making that connection with them to where almost you're hand in glove with the product? I am a musician. I've played on a couple of different brand instruments, and I am very connected. I always seem to come back to, as far as the synthesizer is concerned, Korg products. It just seems to be laid out better for me as a musician. And Roland products, I don't like Yamaha because it's not laid out for me as a musician like I would like it. So I have that type of connection with both Korg and Roland products, and it does connect very well with my usage of it. Okay, so the deeper the ties, the more I recognize, hey, there's that brand. There's Starbucks. I have a choice between two or three different brands. I'm going to trust Starbucks in a moment because I'm connected better with that brand, and that's what brand equity does. So this portion, you may want to spend and give the majority of your slides to. This is the product life cycle portion, and this is really key. So when you're looking at the product life cycle, you're looking at four different stages. You have the introduction phase, the growth phase, the maturity phase, and the decline phase. And these can be shorter, they can be longer than others, depending upon the industry and the market in which the product is found. What you see here is the four P's: product, price, place, promotion, and how each phase responds to each section of the product lifecycle. And when looking at product managers, they keep this in mind. They realize, hey, you know, in the product life cycle, my product in the introduction phase is going to have a few competitors. I'm going to only put out one product. I'm going to choose between the fact, and we're going over this next week, between either a penetrating price strategy or skimming or prestigious might be in there. What type of price strategy do I want my product to be under for its life cycle? And then you're going to be placed in a limited amount of distribution, and then maybe grow throughout the life cycle. And then the promotion. This is so important, the promotion part of it. It's like, how are you going to get your information out to people? Who are you going to get your information to? Early adapters? Absolutely. And they're going to spread the news about your product. Listen, that's so important. And then later on in the growth phase, there's going to be more competitors. So guess what? You're going to come up with more versions. It's called product lining. Your price strategy is going to be strategized upon product lining, giving different price points for those who want a more expensive or a cheaper version of your product. You're going to put it into more places so that more people can get a hold of your product. And then in a maturity level, you're looking at like such a convoluted, depending upon your category, product category, convoluted uh, level of competition, and you're going to do full product lining, maybe connecting in this promotion level with other brands. You may think about totally revamping your look and everything in a mature life cycle. I know that in my industry, there's a ton of products right here in the maturity life cycle. And so there is so many different ways that people are doing. And then at this level as well, and I don't think the book goes over it, but in order to make more of a profit, some of the influences slightly above the product manager is to determine if you're going to go to different places overseas to produce your product to make it cheaper so you can increase your product profitability. You have to, because there's so many people will go along with this, but in the distribution channels that are going to want a bit of that pie. They're distributing it for you in foreign markets. That comes with the price tag. The the bigger factories come with the price tag. The more managers that got their hands on decisions with this product, that comes with some more money, and so there's going to have to be more profit that comes with that. And then in the decline phase, what are you going to do? I've seen a lot of folks, a lot of companies that decline their product offerings down to, instead of 5 in a product line, maybe 2. They used to have 5 different choices. Now they have 2 in that product line for that product. And then they may rethink about how they distribute it. Maybe they'll connect with another product that they have and put it into another product. Like, a lot of times with, you're looking at Apple iPhones, they pretty much put an iPod in an iPhone. The iPods really don't exist that much. And so that's what you look at. And that was a very quick life cycle with digital media, when you're talking about those small digital medias. So anyway, so this is the product life cycle. You're looking at different things. You're including the 4 Ps within that. You're including competition with talking about those things. And then you're considering the target market. So again, this is Professor G's Remedies for Marketing 421. We're talking in week 3, the apply assignment for the individual assignment here. And if you have any questions, any comments, or any suggestions to make this better, because I want to make this better for students so that they know exactly what to do in order to produce an amazing uh, submission for their requirement for the assignment, just drop a little note down there in the comment section and have yourself an awesome day.